Look at this guy over
What do you
here.
think he's watching?
Nerd.
What's he doing?
What are you doing, Todd?
I'm screwing in some screws.
Christmas lights.
Mounting some new pictures?
Yep.
Christmas
wait,
lights.
Wait, I have to. What? You want me to milk the cows?
Milsh?
All right.
Jared milks the cows all the time.
All right, so tell us what you're doing for real.
Well, this is the VR stuff.
That thing is huge, man.
Isn't it? It's crazy.
That's your Sony VR?
That's why it costs more than the PlayStation itself.
VR, it costs as much as the PlayStation.
Man.
So you brought it over because you want me to try it out?
I want you to try it. I think you're a tech nerd. I think you would like it. I want Steven to try it too.
I've done VR.
Not Dan though. I don't want Dan to try it.
I've done some of the VR stuff at events, but I've never done the ones where you participate yet.
I brought the little thing so you can actually pick things up and all that.
As many times as we went to those, Photokina and the other photo conventions where they have this VR stuff, I've never really tested it out because I'm usually behind the camera filming you testing it out and doing all the cool stuff.
Exactly.
So I think we should test it out and we can put it at the end of
Film it.
RAWtalk.
All right.
And it has an HDMI out port, right? So I think we can record what you're seeing, which would be pretty cool.
So we're not going to go to the TV, or we're going to go right to the
That's our
Atomos?
backup plan.
It does go to the
we're gonna see.
TV. Like what you plug it in and like we can watch what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So it's it'll be fun.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get it.
We're a bunch of techies, nerds.
Well, you're not, but
Yeah, I'll
Steven
just
is.
sit here and do
Steven
what I gotta
is,
do.
Yeah.
All right, let me do my intro, all right?
Fine.
Come on, Todd. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to episode 207. 207.
Getting there.
We have an interview this week with Rebecca Bathory.
Oh my God.
That is not Taco Bell Becky.
Not the same Rebecca.
She is a Dark Warrior, though. So we have an interview with her.
That's funny. I like Dark Warriors too. My dad doesn't.
I met her a couple of years ago when we went to Israel. She was the photographer that went there. She's been traveling the world. We'll talk a little bit more about her when the interview starts to come up, but it's a pretty cool interview to have her on. She was in here and then heading back to England shortly after her world tour.
She's everywhere, man.
She's like shit.
amazing.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
What song is that?
Easy. No singing. I thought we
Steven,
I was
agreed
hoping
on.
you would pick up on
Steven.
that, but
Because she's everywhere to me.
you're welcome.
When I hold your hands.
Moving on.
That's
We're moving on.
That's the issue, is you always take it way too far.
That's the point. That's
one
Vanessa
line is
Carlton,
fine.
right?
It's Vanessa Carlton.
Love
yes.
her. So let's talk about this. There's a couple of things to talk about. We got your VR headset. Right before this, after we finished interviewing Rebecca, because we do those before we start because she had to get to the airport,
Yep.
Todd was looking at Jinxed, which is a vintage
store.
It's
Like a thrift shop, kind of.
It's not a thrift shop. It's
a
an
hipster
antique-
vintage store.
It's a vintage store
Yeah.
that isn't like your typical you can haggle or do anything because they're pretentious hipsters that run it, but they get some cool stuff.
That's
from time
why
to-
Jared shops there.
You get some cool stuff. Dan can tell you all about it. You can get some cool stuff. Well, they had a flat.
How are they, Dan? You don't have a fucking microphone, Dan.
It's been a while since we've done that.
Oh, by the way, I went on Facebook Live yesterday.
That was vintage. See what I did there?
Look at his hair again. It looks like he's like in the SS. But I was doing Facebook Live yesterday, and Joe DeMarco popped on, and I saw it. I'm like, ha! You don't have a microphone, Joe. So anyway,
Sure appreciated that.
the flat file came up on Jink's Instagram.
On their Instagram.
And it's not just like your normal flat file that's 3 drawers.
Haven't they had one before?
They've had smaller ones.
Smaller
This
ones,
is
okay.
massive.
This thing is 3 feet tall by 54 inches or something by X amount deep, has 10 drawers, and we went and looked at it. It was marked at $495.
He haggled it down to $495.
I didn't even ask.
So what's like a starting price for one of those new today?
$1,500 to $2,000.
We looked it up, and like half the size was like $699
Wow.
for a new one.
But for a new generic without a bottom or a base, this thing
Without rust.
is 3 feet tall, but all the drawers opened.
Yep.
Smoothly.
Cool.
Yep.
The
all
idea
that matters.
So the plan is we'll have Jason, the guy who made the bowling ball desks, the video, you see the video of the bowling ball desks. We're going to talk to him. Let's get some big wheels on it that can lock, or maybe we could level or something because we're not sure which room it's going in, but the wheels can lock, and maybe we could put a nice top on it, and it could become like a review table.
Yeah, that's great.
And it could also be a table that I lay the prints and sign. The only prints that won't
Instead
work.
of yelling at me when I step on him.
True. The only the only prints that I won't be able.
Kinked. You ruined it.
It's kinked now.
Throw it out.
Damn it, just
Garbage.
throw it out.
The
Doesn't matter. I'll call so-and-so paper and get free stuff anyhow.
That is brought to you by Red River. RedRiverPaper.com.
Hold on, Dave.
This pretentious douchebag moment is brought to you by
Red River Paper. It won't fit a 44 by 66.
Oh, it won't. Okay.
44 by 60 inch, but it's going to fit 24 by 36s. Which Red River sent me that paper because I said, please send me some Red River Arctic Polar Luster.
Speaking of that size, where's Todd's print at anyway?
It's back there. I rolled it up.
Oh, you did roll it up.
Yeah,
okay.
all I left was his tooth hanging out.
No, it's literally just my eyes.
Yeah,
when I
it's
look
scary.
back.
Dan can show you that.
It'll be nice just to have a place that is not the floor for the prints.
Dude, it's
a shame all those prints just go unused.
The only the hassle that comes out of going to Jinxed is that they're like, you have 48 hours to remove it, and if you don't, we give you store credit and we sell it to a backup buyer. It's like, well,
it's not something you can just load
I'm
in
like,
the back,
it's
back of the
not
van.
like I'm calling and I want to buy a hammer, and you're like, you got to come get the hammer now. And I get it, it takes up space, but Jesus Christ. But actually, the biggest problem is they should literally have a card there that says, we have a moving company that does everything within a 5-mile radius for X amount of dollars for something like this. Give them a call and they get a kickback.
They're losing money there.
The fact that they don't have that is absolutely asinine. Just Todd thinks I should open I'll tell you what the name of the store is that I'm going to open up next door.
Frinkst.
It's called Moishy's We Haggle. It's called We Haggle, and Moishy's going to run it.
I like Frinkst better.
Frinkst?
It's Fro Jinxed.
Oh, Fro Jinxed, and it's also going to be subtext We Haggle.
The irony is you would never let anyone haggle you. You haggle people, but you don't let the same thing happen to you.
Hey, Todd, how much will it be to edit this video? Oh, this much. Can you do this?
So I call the moving guy that moved the stuff to the Fro Factory, and he's like, look,
piss off.
he's like, I mean, I gotta charge you. I'm not gonna tell you what the regular price is. I'm like,
he's the one you haggled, right?
I didn't haggle him. He gave me a price, and I said fine. I had a price in mind. I didn't haggle with him
or something?
I didn't haggle. No. What they tried to do, and this is photo
Charge
related.
you for extra 2 hours.
Basically,
Can you charge me $100 and I'll give you some free video guides? Digital download only, though.
They basically tried to say there was a minimum time, and that was going to cost me an extra $200.
That's what it was, yeah.
When they never made me aware of that before so I was just like, yeah,
print.
no, I had a clock running because I'm going to protect myself. Anyway, that's that. That flat file is going to be awesome in the
I think it'll be nice.
in the Fro Factory.
That's cool.
Good purchase.
Yeah.
Speaking of purchases, your daughter said she has a Christmas wish list.
Yeah, she emailed it to me.
She emailed it to
she
you,
emailed
and she
didn't email
I
it to
told
Santa?
her she has to take it to Santa. She refuses to take it to Santa.
What do kids do these days? Do they email Santa? Do they
She
send
sends
a letter?
me. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
Now she emails me with links.
Are they affiliate links?
I should make her use my affiliate link, actually.
Yeah.
No. Well, it's usually to websites that I don't go to, and then I have to figure out, do they have it on Amazon?
She started to make an Amazon wish list or something. B&H does a wish
generally,
list.
I go and check Amazon to see if I can get it there before I go to the other sites. But that's what I was doing this morning.
So what does she want?
Makeup brushes, 20-pack, 20 makeup brushes. They're all pink handles. I also want the Kim Kardashian makeup, the lip smackers.
Is that the Kylie one?
Oh,
That's it.
It's the one that makes your lips
Yeah,
fat.
that's
It makes you
pretty
look
big.
like you've
The
stung
girls
your
love
lips.
that.
That's exactly what she wants. I have no idea what she
Do you know
and then-
how
My
would that-
girlfriend does makeup for a living.
Does
and
your girlfriend use that on you?
I don't think she uses that specific
it
one,
burn
but people
after?
ask for it all the time.
It's called pucker, right?
I don't know what it's
And she
called.
said, Daddy, I want a penny board.
some sort of skateboard.
A penny board.
Some sort of skateboard.
I don't even know what that is.
A penny board is a mini plastic, it's the
tiny skateboard.
tiny
skateboard.
plasticky looking ones.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing with the kids these days.
Yeah,
Penny
all the
boards?
that's what's hot on the streets, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, that's what's hot on the streets.
All right, let's
And a MacBook Pro, which I was like, not getting.
She put a MacBook Pro?
She put MacBook Pro, just randomly, MacBook Pro.
Jared, what are you getting for Christmas?
Santa
a dog.
Santa doesn't like his kind.
Well, so when I'm going to go to Hanukkah Harry, I'm going to sit on his lap and I'm going to be like, Harry, Hanukkah Harry.
And then he's gonna haggle with you. Would it be all right if I gave you? Would it be all right if I just gave you a 13-inch television, not a big widescreen? Would that be okay?
No, Hanukkah Harry, you're a dick.
Well, I'm sorry. Also, we don't deliver. You're going to have somebody come pick it up at the Moisture Pole.
That's
in,
funny.
in 48 hours.
It's true because Santa has a sleigh.
I'm sorry, we don't deliver.
What we really need to do is...
We had something with B&H, but we cut that off.
That's funny. What we should do is call sketch sketch art of Sanchez right now and be like, can you draw the Hanukkah Harry? And Jared's sitting on his lap. So sketch arts on
Now you
Instagram.
ruined it because
He's
we're
been
not doing the
sending-
bid anymore. So thanks.
What was that?
I said now you ruined it because we're not doing the bid anymore.
No, what I could say that.
No.
He just does great art. Anyway, thank you for bringing that up. Let's get to photo news, damn it.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
yeah,
So we can get to
news.
the interview.
You're welcome.
Photo news, there's a new rental house that wants to be the borrow lenses of film gear. It's called Film Objective, and it was founded by F-Stopper senior writer Adam Aki. The very objective for this new startup is to simply help film live on and get more film cameras into more people's hands. And
It's called eBay.
Here's how it works exactly. Rentals are on a monthly basis with a 2-month maximum. Rental prices range from $16 all the way up to $375 for their Hassie 203 FE kit. Now, the catch, though, is that you have to lay down a deposit for each camera's replacement value when you rent it out. So it ranges everywhere from $200 for the Canon A1 to $5K for the Hasselblad.
Well, you do have to do
Which
that with.
to me, renders the point
Did they
of
put a hold on your
renting.
card or something? Or
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
so you pre-authorize. This is the same. All the rental houses do this. Lens rentals, borrow
No.
lenses. Yes, they will. You are agreeing to their terms.
But this one, I believe you're actually putting down a deposit and they refund you later.
Well, so with borrow lenses and lens rentals, that you are pre-authorizing them that if something happens to the gear, you are going to be charged for
Yes,
it.
but they're not charging you right then
No,
and there.
they're not
before
if
charging
he's
you.
charging straight out the gate the full investment, then it's not going to work.
That's what I'm saying. The
If
point
it's
of
a hold,
renting gear is to
yeah,
not
I mean,
spend
that's-
that kind of money.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this is in beta currently, and it's all his personal gear. This guy, Adam's personal gear. So I guess that's why he's taking it so
So
seriously.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. But there's a thing called eBay. You really want a film camera for $50? I guarantee you can find a Nikon N65, a Nikon N90S, a Nikon whatever, and you can go and start shooting one of those.
But I think the point of this was to offer high-end film cameras like that Hasselblad. There's like the Nikon F5 too, a couple other film cameras that they are offering to rent, which are a little more expensive if you want to,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
they're $50-$60 here instead of buying it for $400.
Sure.
And there's something else different about this specific rental house. When someone checks out a film camera from Adam's, again, mostly personal
you
arsenal.
mean from his bedroom
Pretty
where
much.
he's working?
Yeah.
Mom, give me the Hasselblad and make me mac and cheese.
Here's the thing.
Gluten-free.
Gluten free.
No, Chef Boyardee, right? Your favorite.
I wish it was Chef Boyardee.
They must share at least 5 images that they took with it after the fact and write up 100 words about the project
No,
or
thank you.
projects
Do I get a
completed
discount for that?
with the
Would
help
they
of
have
the
to
gear.
do that?
No,
That's
they
like
have to.
homework.
Oh,
It
give me
feels
a
like
break.
homework
It's
at that
in
point.
the fine print.
Give me
which
a break.
Isn't not so fine.
Give me a break,
yeah.
please.
Now Carter.
Now, Adam says it's their way to say thank you, and it's our way to keep tabs on how we're affecting the community around us.
No, thank you.
And they're also offering prints for sale, which is pretty cool. And you get 10% off if you pair it with a rental. So that's a little different than your average rental house. And again, it's currently in beta, and you can watch their full promo video on
So
the
do you
site.
have to
It's a
send
good
them the
idea.
negatives to get your prints made? That's the question.
Ooh.
Because if you're just sending them digital files, it defeats the whole purpose. Now, it's a cool idea.
is a good question.
I have no problem, but unless you're going to go all out and be all hipstery and shoot film and then get it film processed, I'll say this again. I'll repeatedly say this time and time again, that when people who shoot film, nothing wrong with shooting film. And realize I didn't say hipsters because a lot of people shoot film. But younger people who never processed film or lived in the film age, they love taking pictures with film,
And take it to the photo barn.
taking it to the 1 hour photo mart, the little hut,
Yep.
and you would get it next week
shed.
Yeah.
in the photo hut.
I think my mom's still there working.
$9.99.
In the photo hut, the little hut. But no, what they do is they get it processed, they have it scanned, and then they edit it on the computer. If you truly wanted to live the analog lifestyle with your with your film cameras, you would get it printed, you would not scan it, and that's how you would live with
Print it.
Right. But no, scanning it I'm not saying it defeats the whole purpose, but it defeats most of your people's purpose for saying why you shoot film.
Now, keep in mind, they will be scanning at least 5 of their images to showcase on this website.
Ooh, do you have to send them the film?
You have to. I don't know. I don't know if they post it themselves. I don't know if they scan it themselves. I don't know what the case is, but yeah, you have to showcase at least 5 images that they took with it.
It reminds me of a song. Kodachrome, home. Give us those nice bright colors. Give us the greens of summers. Let them know the world's a sunny day. All right, I got a Nikon camera. I
Nope.
love to take a photograph.
That's the part where it went too long.
That is a great song, though. Paul Simon.
When he sings it.
Fine, whatever.
Who sings that?
It's Paul Simon.
Let's keep it that way.
An update on Carol Highsmith's $1 billion lawsuit against Getty Images that we talked about a few weeks back. It's officially come to an end with Getty basically winning the case with a small out-of-court settlement. And to backtrack, Highsmith was suing Getty over them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were
Her
licensing
free archive.
Exactly, licensing her public domain images, all 18,000 of them, and they even sent her, remember, that takedown notice for her website, saying that she had to remove those images because she didn't license them with them.
Huh.
And she claimed misuse and infringement for this lawsuit, but the courts agreed that she gave up that right when she donated her images into the public domain, which is why
No.
Getty pretty much won.
No, I mean, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
She didn't specify that Getty. Why should Getty be able to take somebody's public domain images and then sell them and then tell her that she can't use them? If they're in the public domain, fuck you, Getty. Fuck you. Seriously. If it's in the public domain, how are you going to charge people? I get it if you aggregate and you're doing a service, but how are you going to tell people to take them down if you just did the same thing by taking them that you never paid for them, and then you're telling the photographer she has to take? If it's in the public domain, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there.
No, I do think
I channeled my inner John Oliver. You know how he repeats it twice.
charging for the tool to use to search through the public
Cool.
domain, I understand. But
Yep,
again, sending
yep.
that takedown notice, that's
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't own the
that's
rights.
bullshit.
You don't own the rights, Getty.
exactly.
You don't own the rights.
Okay.
It's John Oliver.
And then another lawsuit, except this one resulted in a win
So what
for
happened?
the
How much
photographer
did she have
this
to
time.
pay?
It didn't say. No word on how much she actually earned. It was out of court
No,
settlement.
she had to pay.
I don't think she had to pay.
No,
just said-
she got something.
She
She
got
got
something.
something.
Oh, I thought you said that she lost.
She lost, but
She
it sounds like
lost.
she got a little something on the side.
Apparently, there was this New York law that they didn't agree on just yet. The court didn't make a decision on that specific law. I forget what it was, a copyright law or something that she could have maybe won, but it would have been a small amount. So they settled out of court for whatever maybe that amount would have been.
So she got a little
she got
taste.
some-
She got a little taste.
Yeah, it wasn't $1 billion, which
Oh,
is
well, how
insanity.
much did she get?
I don't know.
And I thought she lost. That's why I was yelling at people.
Well, I came in and I haggled a little bit with her.
Yeah. So imagine going to court and you're sitting there, right?
With
and
Harry
there's the head
Hanukkah?
haggler.
With Harry Hanukkah?
No, Harry Haggler is sitting there. Harry Haggler's sitting there, and you've got, so think of People's Court, right? With Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
For those young people out there, Judge Wapner was a judge before Judge Judy.
I was going to say, I
and
know
he had
Judge Judy, but I don't know.
Judge Wapner's Court.
Shut
know.
up, Steven.
It was called the People's Court.
You were conceived during Judge People's Court.
Exactly. So imagine if you had Haggling Harry, and you had 1 and 2, and you'd be like, 1, what do you have to say for yourself? Well, actually, I wanted to pay $39.95. Okay. Number 2. Well, I was thinking about $22.50. Oh no. Would you be okay with $37.94? No. Okay. And it just goes on.
How about $2,000? Wait, that was more than I asked in the first place.
Shut up.
So this other lawsuit where this photographer actually won, it was a German photographer named Rainier Stubloff.
Rainier Stubloff.
I don't know.
Dankeschön.
He sued Facebook for automatically stripping EXIF data off of his photos that were uploaded to the social network, specifically the IPTC standard. And he says it was a violation of German copyright law because the country's laws protect information provided by photographers in order to pursue their copyrights, and therefore Facebook must stop doing it. Well, the court agreed back in February, and since it's officially been 6 months and Facebook hasn't appealed, the judgment is considered final. Now, this ruling is specific, obviously, to just Germany, and Facebook has been ordered to adjust their uploader now to allow for metadata, or they will face fines of up to €250 every time a German photographer decides to sue them over this. Now, instead of making a special tool just for Germans, I feel like it's more likely that the social network will just adjust the uploader tool for everyone.
Yeah.
Instead of just one specific country.
Yeah, suck it, Zuckerberg.
And Rainier says it is clear that such a procedure does not have to be tolerated any further. That was Google Translate. Hopefully that translated well.
That's not
so
what I said.
hopefully they won't strip the metadata anymore. Not that it really matters, but
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Whatever.
I seriously don't care.
I don't think it's a big deal either.
Photographers are stupid.
Because anybody can strip your data.
Exactly.
I get my data stripped every night.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
So do I in VR.
I didn't think about that before I said it.
And then there's a new lens adapter that gives you full control of your Nikon glass on Sony E-mount bodies. PhotoDiox released their new Nikon to Sony Fusion Smart AF adapter, which now gives Nikon shooters full autofocus, aperture control, VR, and EXIF data transfer when using AFI and AFS lenses, again on Sony bodies. And they note that most adapters are fully electronic, so they simply just transfer the lens data to the camera for it to work. So it's pretty easy, and that's the reason this adapter took so long to make. The fact that Nikon AFI and AFS lenses are not fully electronic, the aperture is obviously still mechanical, and their solution is the Fusion Drive that they're calling it, which allows the body to physically control the mechanical aperture on the Sony body. And price-wise, these come in at $370 a pop. All these adapters are so
I
expensive.
don't understand the love affair with, I'm going to just attach this to a Sony. Why don't you just buy the Nikon? Why don't you just buy the Canon? I get it. You want the Sony A7 series.
Yeah, I think it's just if you're invested in Canon or Nikon gear and you want to switch over to Sony, you don't have to buy.
But there's
a million
always an
other
issue
lenses.
with the adapters.
Plus, Sony barely has any lenses
and
these
they're
days.
expensive.
Yeah.
But the adapters,
Extremely
it's just
expensive.
like, I don't want to deal with an adapter.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't like the adapters either.
No. Yeah.
Because then you lose all control of like the autofocus and
No,
a
but
lot
that's
of
what
that
they're
stuff.
saying. You don't lose control of that for this specific adapter.
Oh, I stopped paying attention after like two words.
I figured.
So my bad.
He was
Yeah,
still
autofocus, aperture control. You still can control all
He's
of
still
it.
lost in VR
Fully
world.
automatic.
Yeah.
And then we've got another advancement in drone defense, introducing the drone gun, one word. This futuristic-looking rifle that looks like it's like straight up a movie won't physically destroy the drone like an actual gun or shotgun. What it will do is immediately cease video transmission back to the drone operator, leaving the drone intact, they say, for forensic investigation later.
What's it just fall out of the sky?
They say it returns home.
China?
No, they say wherever it actually took off at, it returns home to.
Funniest thing Jared's ever said.
You've never heard him say that before?
Nah, I don't know.
He doesn't pay attention.
Wonder who this is.
Well, hello there, you son bitches. Just wanted to let you know, my Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump just put in a massive order for these drone guns. We will be patrolling the streets, looking for you your hippie asses in all of the urban, ex-urban areas that we see fit. So, thank you for promoting that, and happy Hanukkah to you, Jew. Goodbye.
Now, this is not the first drone defense weapon to do this, but it is the first to be able to do it from 1.2 miles away.
Dude, how much
you
is
can
this?
freaking snipe at that drone.
How much is it?
They didn't say.
But because
it's not FCC approved yet, so they can't sell it.
At
and it will never be
1.2 miles away,
FCC
I
approved.
probably won't be able to see the DJI Mavic.
It's
I can
insane.
barely see it anyways when it's just a couple
400
feet up.
feet.
It
Yeah.
does have a scope on it, though.
Oh.
So I wonder how far you can actually see.
And what do you do with this?
You blow it out of the sky
With what?
With the gun. It basically cuts off the transmission
With
for the
what,
video
radio
and
waves?
sends it back. I think it cuts the GPS.
How? What's it sending a signal?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You're asking the wrong person.
but
I'm saying the
What's the
website you sold
projectile?
from didn't do the research.
I stole it from their website, droneshield.com. And they give you dude, I even downloaded a brochure, which you have to like give your email for. And I was like, oh, good. They'll have all the specs and information I need to explain it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Next, he's getting
Nothing.
support the.
Well, then I got an email
That's
from
what
them
we could
saying,
use the old
"Oh,
drones for. We could use this gun.
But this website, Drone Shield, is like a full solution for drone protection. They've got these radars and the gun and all this other crazy stuff.
But does it say does it say on the website we'll protect your daughter's sweet titties?
Sweet nubbins.
did not say that. Did not say
weird.
that. But they do have this really cheesy ad for the drone gun, which is you probably already seen it. I'm sure
I've
Dan
got
put
somebody
it
if
up.
they need a spokesperson.
Hello, are you having trouble with drones flying in your area? Well, now you need droneware.
That's not what I was thinking.
The guy rolls up in like this SUV with like a little police car siren on top, and he runs out and he's got his rifle and he's like getting on his knees and shooting out of the
Submit.
sky. And somehow the drone lands right in front of him perfectly.
It
course.
flew home.
Yeah.
Do you have problems with drones flying and looking at your daughter's sweet titties?
Well, I do.
Well, we now have a solution for you. It's called the drone gun.
Whoa.
You can be yours for 5 easy payments of $23.99.96 on FlexPay. If you act now.
I mean, what do you think something like that would go for?
But wait, There's
I bet
more.
you a lot.
Like $1,000?
No,
$2,000?
I bet you it's at least $24.99.
Yeah, I would say above $2,000.
Did you see it? It looks like a futuristic
It
weapon.
does.
It looks serious.
That's
It's got
probably.
antennas
It would
and-
probably be for like government folks. and
That's what I
stuff
think
like
too.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
how legal is
they said
that?
airports would most likely use it.
Well, he's going to be using it now with the DTF. The DTF.
DTF. Got
And
it.
again, they made a big note saying that the FCC did not approve it, and most likely it will
Yo,
not be approved.
FCC, you mess with me.
What?
Well, you can see.
Nope.
Oh, na 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 na.
Nope.
Na 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 na.
No, thank you.
Na 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 na.
We're done.
Na 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 na.
Good night.
That's
Yeah, that song.
Eminem,
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on.
not D12.
Nope.
The band OK Go has done it again with another incredible music video that was shot in real time in just 4.2 seconds. Did you see this, Todd?
I haven't.
You got to watch this.
I
for
will.
Sure, yeah. You saw it, right, Jared?
I did.
This was shot on a Bolt high-speed Cinebot with shooting rates at up to 6,000 frames per second. The 4.2 second shot video was then slowed down in variable frame rate intervals in post to create the final 4-minute music video.
What, there's something I
Oh,
don't
they did
understand.
variable. They did a variable ramp like throughout to slow it up and.
I'll get into detail about how they did it, but basically they broke down every beat and every single frame and said these, 2,000 frames we're going to play at 50 frames a second. These we're going to play at
Copy that.
whatever,
Yep.
But I don't understand. Was this one 4-second take?
No, they did do multiple. I think there was like 3 or 4 separate takes, but all together in real time it was 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, because I was going to say, how did it do the panning, tilting, and zooming in 4 seconds?
I think that was real though. All the panning and tilting and stuff. It was the beginning. I think that was separate, and the way end was a completely separate
I mean, that's
take.
probably programmed. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
the Cinebot. If you watch it in real time, it's literally going on a dolly, just whoop.
I mean, Joffy's pretty good, but all he does is just do this.
And he just rocks and
Yeah, he just
weaves.
rocks.
No, see, so when I first watched, I'm like, and that's the video, 4 seconds long.
It's if you watch the behind the scenes clips,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing the math that went into this. So let me just try and break down this math and everything that went into planning this. It took months of planning, first of all, and a spreadsheet that the singer put together that's 25 columns wide and 400 rows long, which is broken down.
Wait. You can't just text somebody this idea at 11:30 at night and expect to do it the next day? Really?
Months
What are you
of
talking
planning.
about?
It's weird.
I thought that's how we operated.
what are you talking about?
Nothing. I don't-
Willis?
So he broke down every single beat, every individual frame. It also took 318 incredibly precise triggers for all these like cool slow-mo effects that they used in the music video, like balloons popping, guitars exploding, watermelons being shot, all kinds of stuff. And the video was made for their latest song titled The One Moment, which director and their singer, Damian Kulash Jr. says, the song The One Moment is a celebration of and a prayer for those moments in life when we are most alive.
Yeah, I didn't even hear the song. I just watched the video. And I couldn't recall anything from the song, but I remember the video.
He says, for the video, we tried to represent this idea literally. We shot it in a single moment. We constructed a moment of total chaos and confusion and then unraveled that moment, discovering the beauty, wonder, and structure within.
So what's better, that video or the mute math video done backwards?
I think this one, way more timing and planning went into this one.
The mute math was pretty good, and it was a good song.
Cool. It was really cool. But that literally was just the music video done backwards. This
Basically.
one, they broke it up frame-wise. And
That was
ton of
pretty
math
insane
and-
watching this video.
Yeah, the backwards thing I've seen before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen something like this.
Well, the best is when Mute Math did the backwards video live on like Letterman or one of the
Really?
late night shows. Yeah, they did the whole performance backwards.
Shut up.
Yeah, they did that.
Next.
Then we have photographer Matthew Stern, who's known for testing weird lenses. We talked about a couple times on here. He's done it again, this time creating his own lens by 3D printing it. Now, the resulting lens is one equal to that of like a 135 millimeter f1.8 lens that uses just a single glass element on the end. He then mounted it on a Sony a7 II, and the resulting images are actually pretty interesting.
Where'd he get the glass from?
I think he went to...
China.
No, I think he
Jinxed?
literally went to like a thrift shop
And
or
haggled?
and got old lenses, smashed them apart, and picked the best
Did
one.
he pick it up in 2 days?
He says you don't need to buy ultra expensive lenses to make great images. $4 plastic lens will make great results. What really matters is your vision, ideas, and creativity. You can see his full video documenting the planning stage, all that went into it, and his real world review of it over on the website.
Wait, what?
Real world as in he was just using it in the real
that's
world.
trademarked.
Yo, did he
by the
say
way.
that?
I don't think he did, no. Don't worry. But it's interesting. And the fact that he worked with this 3D printing company to get it made was really cool.
That's getting recycled.
Because he didn't know how to 3D print at all. He just basically drew a 2D image of what he wanted and gave it to a 3D company, and they made it and designed it for
That's
him
cool.
and everything. Yeah. And again, the lens is interesting because it's got a weird bokeh effect. The edge-to-edge sharpness is terrible. It's only sharp in the center and completely blown out on the sides.
Great. And how much did that lens cost?
Like $4 because he got it for free. He worked with this 3D printing company for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
would have cost way more if he actually had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And two more news stories. Casey Neistat and his Beam app have been acquired by CNN for $25 million. Yeah.
Well, so it's an acqui-hire.
pretty much.
You got to preface that with they didn't just buy the app; they bought the team.
But it's funny how they marketed it. They basically
They bought him.
Yeah, they bought him.
Well, but they didn't. They don't
Sell
get
out,
his.
freaking sell out.
They don't get his
freaking sell
YouTube
out.
channels. They don't get access to that.
So they are completely staying away from the YouTube channel. They have no access, like you said.
Sure.
And Beam itself will officially be ending its short run, but Casey and his 11 employees, like you said, will be launching a new media brand under the CNN name.
Yeah.
And CNN, this is the cool part, they'll be giving him full creative freedom in hopes of reining in Casey's millennial audience.
Yeah.
Those 6 million subscribers that he has. And CNN says, in quotes, Casey has tapped into nearly 6 million really powerful viewers, most of which do not tune into CNN, to build this audience.
Wait, hold on. This is CNN.
They said, to build this audience authentically, we believe we need to build something new. And Neistat notes that this will not, again, affect his YouTube channel or any of that. So that's the good news.
So
And it'll launch in the summer of 2017.
So here's the thing. Beam was not a very good app, and I went out and I said that in past.
I don't know
did it
anyone that
do?
uses
What
that
did it
except
do?
you.
So the point of Beam was Snapchat, but you would
But a
do
little
this.
easier.
You would do this. So you couldn't see what you were filming, and it went up as soon as it was done.
Couldn't edit it, couldn't add any text filters,
The
nothing.
idea was that you share what's happening in the world around you without sprucing it up, editing to make it fake.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
So they had like 1.2 million downloads quickly because he had a huge following.
Was he doing the daily vlog when this was launched?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he launched it with an extra video, launched Beam in beta, and then it came out of beta. I got in on it, and it was just terrible, so I didn't use it.
I downloaded it and never used it.
But the cool part is that they created something, and they raised about $2 million or $2 to $4 million to build the app. So that's an 11-person team. I remember him talking about the burn rate was like $180,000 a week or something. I don't know what the burn. Maybe that was a month. I don't know what the burn rate. I remember he did something on TechCrunch, and he talked about numbers, which was cool. So the fact that you're able to sell the technology and then you're shutting down the app, I think he cares more about creating content than the other stuff. So whatever you don't know, he doesn't get $25 million. It's whoever invested gets their money back and their percentage, and whatever he had, he would get money. But I'm sure it was well worth it, and I applaud him for doing it because that's a content creator's dream. Somebody offers you money and says, go create some stuff. Go create. Do it. That's my goal.
I will say that...
Say you.
Nope.
Say me.
I lost it already.
Nope. Not at all.
I will say, though, when he first quit his daily vlog, he basically said he wanted to do more creative stuff on his own. And I feel like, will this then take away from him doing his personal YouTube
No, this
videos?
is probably
This
what
is
he was
what
talking
he
about.
was
though?
talking about.
This is absolutely what he was talking about because
They ain't giving you $25 million to play around.
Yeah,
And pretend you're going to come work for
he's
him.
gonna post the stuff on his YouTube.
Like, is it going to be like citizen journalism type thing? Is it going to be short films? Is it going to be, what's it going to
They're
be?
gonna be travel logs,
Anthony Bourdain.
stories.
I bet you. Like that. I bet you that's like Anthony Bourdain has something on CNN. It's going to be, different
Something like that.
topics, but
I'm curious what it's going to be in the end, though. And then speaking of YouTube personalities, Kai Wong has officially ended his 7-year streak as the host of Digital Rev. Kai made the announcement on his new YouTube channel, which is just called Kaiman Wong.
Kaiman Wong.
Where he says he'll be posting videos at a once-a-week pace. And he says, there was no fights. I wish DR well. They gave me a platform for me to perform, to create stuff.
I wish there would have been fights.
And they'll carry on creating stuff. And he's already amassed over 100,000 subscribers in just a week.
Well, no, it was actually 3 days.
How do you feel about that?
I told him how I felt about it last night.
Super awesome.
No, it's funny.
Is he hiring?
I got him on Skype. We talked last night on Skype, and here's the picture of us.
Shocked you didn't record it.
First, I wasn't going to do that with I wanted to have a discussion first.
No, that's great. That's great.
We had a person to person, friend to friend type thing, and we'll do an interview at some point. That's fine. But I just wanted to talk, see how he's doing, see what he's up to, ask him some questions, what
Get
he's
the
thinking
deets.
about doing. And we just had like an open dialogue about what directions that he could take and things that he could do.
So he started a little before you, right? Like
He
a year
said
before?
he said he uploaded a video 10 years ago on YouTube.
I'm saying with DRTV, 7 years ago it looks
Oh
like.
yeah, they started at least a year before me.
Okay. So they were already pretty big when you
I
started
think so.
FroKnowsPhoto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's literally like you leaving FroKnowsPhoto and starting a separate side project.
I wish you would.
True. So it was a good conversation. I really like talking to him. Hopefully we can collaborate in the future.
Yeah.
But his YouTube was growing, and I estimate that before his subscriber growth slows down, you're looking at about 150,000 users that are going to sign up, subscribe really fast.
Yeah.
Nope. 250.
The reason I say
What's
that,
your guess? What's your guess?
I would probably say around that, yeah. A quarter of,
Dan, what
not
do you
even
say?
an eighth
What do you
of
say, Dan?
Digital Rev.
You don't have a
What's
microphone.
Digital Rev have? 1.7
they have
now?
1.7, so I say about 10% or less will go ahead and click over and subscribe to him. He is in such a great position because when you have a video that has more views than subscribers and you're going to be able to consistently do that, you're going to be well sought after. Now, he's going to need to have sponsorship like he said in his video, so he's going to need to make some money because he's on his own. It's not like he has a big company paying for it. But he has a leg and a half up, 2 legs up over everybody else.
Huge following, yeah.
He already has a built-in that he cultivated from Digital Rev.
His video popped up in my YouTube feed, and I wasn't subscribed, but it just suggested it to me. So he's got that going for him.
So we wish him well.
Yeah.
And go subscribe,
I like his channel
but not
better.
too many. What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
All right, shut up, Todd.
That's
Nobody
it for
asked
photo
you.
news
So
this
there's
week.
your photo news. It's brought to you by nobody. Let's get to the interview. So Rebecca was in. I actually just got the text that she got dropped off by the Uber guy.
That's good.
I didn't actually take Uber. I just have the Uber guy's phone number who picks me up generally all the time to go to the airport.
So you haggled it.
So I haggled with him to pay him cash, so not through the app.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Well,
It's illegal, I'm sure.
It's not.
I feel like that's completely against Uber policy.
Well, he's
if you're an
getting
Uber
fired now.
driver.
He didn't solicit. He didn't solicit that he takes jobs. I asked. I said if I needed to get to the airport, and
So it was a friend picking up a friend.
yeah, it was a friend picking up a
That
friend.
paid the other friend.
No, they donated money.
Donated money.
They donated. Anyway, she's at the airport. She's heading to Detroit of all places to shoot. I mean, if you want to shoot abandoned buildings,
To shoot a gun?
Detroit
That's
is the place to
for
go.
Detroit.
So I met Rebecca a couple years back in Israel. She is a dark tourism type photo. That's how she'll say it. She's not an urban explorer. She doesn't like that term, I don't think. But she goes into abandoned buildings and takes artistic pictures. That's her thing. She has a couple of books. Let's get to the interview. You guys can enjoy it. Pay attention. And here it is. What is going on, Rebecca? How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Jared.
Are you enjoying Philadelphia?
I am. It's a nice place.
Did you go anywhere other than your hostel?
No, I have been recovering from 2 months traveling around USA.
Yeah. What has been your favorite place in the U.S. so far?
Detroit, which is probably most people's least favorite place in the USA.
What would make Detroit your favorite place?
Because I photograph abandoned buildings.
And Detroit is a perfect place for abandoned buildings.
60% abandoned.
That's crazy. So before we started, you're like, did you wear black for me?
Yeah, you wear black just for me, didn't you, Jared?
Nope. I just wore black because this is what I put on today. That's really
You
the
wore
truth.
it for me.
Nope. You think I really did wear it for you? What? So you wear all black.
Most of the time.
Do you consider yourself the dark princess or something?
I have darkness inside of me.
Does it mean you have no heart?
I have a heart.
I have a heart.
Yes.
Anyway, let me tell you how Rebecca and I met first. We met in Israel when we went on the Vibe Israel trip as photographers, bloggers, whatever the hell they called us, to go around Israel and take photos. And Rebecca was one of the people that they brought from the UK to be on the trip of 6 photographers. And that's how we met, and we've stayed in touch since.
2 years ago.
I think it's more than that at this point.
Over 2 years ago.
Over 2 years at this point. So that's how we met. So for people that may not know you, of my readers, tell them what your focus is as a photographer.
I'm photographing abandoned buildings, trying to find the beauty in decay and architecture. And recently I've been focusing on dark places that people wouldn't normally travel to.
Like the closet or something?
Yeah, the closet. No, I've just been like traveling around the world trying to find dark places that are associated with like death, tragedy.
So what are some of the ones you've encountered so far?
Well, I've been to over 100 locations this year.
I saw the one where they dig up the dead every year and dance and have a party with them. What is that?
That's in Indonesia, in a place called South Sulawesi. And they have like completely different like funeral rituals, and they kind of celebrate death rather than like be sad. And they spend a long time kind of saving up for these funerals, which are bigger events than weddings and births. So what they do is, because it takes them such a long time to save up, they'll keep the dead body in the house until they can afford the funeral.
Like where?
Just like in a room. They'll have like air so that they can kind of dry out and stuff, but they'll still kind of treat them as if they're alive. When they finally can afford the funeral, it's like this huge, massive event where everybody in the neighborhood will go there and kind of celebrate. And that's the moment when they're finally dead and they're not sick anymore. But yeah, every like, I think 10 years, they'll kind of take them out of the cave that they put them into, and they dress them up and give them new clothes, and they walk them around the village.
So you participated in this?
Not the walking around the village bit, but I actually went to a couple of the funerals. But it's kind of like a status thing as well, because like the bigger the funeral, the kind of bigger the family are, and
Sure.
They'll slaughter buffaloes, and the more buffaloes they can slaughter, kind of the better it is.
So do you take pictures of the buffaloes being slaughtered?
It was actually the first time I saw an animal die.
Really? And?
I don't know. At first I was just kind of hiding behind my camera because I knew I had to get the shots, and I didn't particularly want to be witnessing it. But I kind of thought about it afterwards, and I don't know. We eat meat all the time, so just seeing that was.
It messed with your head a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, do you find yourself going to these places and hiding behind the camera?
A couple of times this year, I have been quite moved by the things I've seen, but I'm not normally that affected by these things.
No?
No. For example, I saw my first dead body, and that was a bit like strange for me. Seeing the buffalo die, and also when I went to Fukushima, that really affected me as well.
So so Fukushima is basically our modern day Chernobyl?
Yeah, pretty much. It happened 5 years ago. There was a big earthquake in Japan and a big tsunami that kind of wiped out this whole town. There's like a radioactive power plant there, so people can't return, well, for a very long time. They're like attempting to clean it up at the moment, but it's going to take quite a long time.
How did you get access?
It's actually really difficult. There's different zones. So there's like a red zone and an orange zone. You're kind of allowed to go into the orange zones, but you're not really meant to go into buildings and stuff. But red zones, you need to get like government officials to take you inside. You have to wear like radiation suits.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
How did you get permission?
So I wanted to like go there to take some pictures, and I went online to find out if anyone else had really been there. Not many people have gone to take pictures apart from this one guy from Poland who's been kind of building up relationships for around 3 years. I think he's been there about 6 times. And it happened completely by chance. On his Facebook wall, he said that he wanted to have a photographer along with him. And it happened to be when I was in Japan, so I asked if I could go with him.
And you did.
I did.
And you took a drone illegally?
It wasn't illegally. The thing was, there was this shot that I wanted to get. It was kind of lots of cars in kind of wasteland, and it just looked like something out of a zombie apocalypse. And I wanted that shot so much. But I was basically stood in the orange zone, but I flew the drone into the red zone, and they weren't so happy about it.
But you got the shot.
I got the shot.
And you didn't get arrested?
No.
Not this time.
A lot of Japanese police turned up, but I didn't get arrested.
No, really? Did you have a translator with you?
Yeah.
And so they took care of it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, has there been a time where you were detained for doing something?
A few times.
Which ones stand out?
So I made a book called Soviet Ghosts in 2012, and I was photographing kind of the abandoned buildings left from the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And I was in Russia, and we went to this kind of secret like radar that was being dismantled. And at the time, I didn't really know that it was a secret military base. And
You mean they didn't have a sign that was like USSR, secret military base, stay out? Yet.
no, they didn't. They just had one army guy at the gate.
So how'd you get past the army guy at the gate?
Well, we do a lot of sneaking around, and we went through the woods for like 15 minutes.
And you never thought that they would try to shoot you for sneaking into a secret base?
Well, we do a lot of sneaking around, and I didn't know it was a secret military base. Basically, on Google Maps, it had all been like blurred out, so we had no clue whatsoever.
So it's kind of like Stranger Things on Netflix?
Haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that. So what happened?
So we like literally just stepped foot onto the concrete where the radar was, and suddenly there's like army all around us, and they take us into this like courtyard area and just make us wait. And my Russian friends are like, just don't say anything, because if they know that you're English, you could be in serious trouble. So
That would have been information you could have told me 15 minutes ago, basically. But would you still have gone if you knew it was a secret base? Okay.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe not if I'd known.
You still would have done it.
Probably. But yeah, suddenly this like important army guy's there, and he makes us walk down this line of like armed soldiers into this truck, and it's all a bit scary, and he takes us into the base and kind of detains us for 16 hours, interviews us and make us like prove that we're not spies, and then finally lets us go.
How do you prove that you're not spies? Like, what does this line of questioning go like? Are you a spy? Are you a spy? Tell me right now, are you a spy?
Yeah, they held me down by the throat and shook me.
Really?
What do you think?
Maybe it's Russia.
They kept asking me some very strange questions.
In English? Because you were not supposed to talk, so how did you end
up? Well,
up?
Eventually they obviously found out that we were English, and they went to the village and got a translator. And even the translator was just saying to us, you need to kind of prove that you're not a spy.
How did you prove that you're not a spy?
We just had to explain that we were just photographers and that we were there to cause no harm. We didn't know it was a secret military base, that we were sorry. But at one stage, they were asking questions like as if they wanted to find out if there were similar places in the UK.
Oh, they were
trying to question me. And I was
like, well, funny that you ask. Here's a map.
Yeah, I'll just take you right to these places.
That's crazy. They're still doing reconnaissance.
But I think they were just like after a bribe.
Oh, did you have to pay them off?
I didn't pay anything.
Did somebody pay them off?
No.
They finally let you go?
They finally let us go.
And
into the night at about midnight.
Oh, really? Did they feed you at all?
We went for a very long time without food, and finally they come with like this slab with some cheese and some meat and a knife. And that was
nice.
It. But every time I went to the toilet even, I had like this armed army guy behind me with a gun to use their disgusting toilet.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Russia was awesome.
Oh, I loved Russia.
So you went to Chernobyl?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times. Are you allowed back a 4th time, or do you have too much radiation now that you've been to Fukushima and that place?
And along with the 45 flights I've got this year, I'm pretty radioactive now, I think.
Yeah, you're glowing green.
Black.
Oh, okay, you're glowing black, which means you're dead inside.
Just like you are today, because of me.
Exactly. What was it like being in that area where nobody is allowed because it's radioactive?
Well, I've been to a lot of abandoned buildings, close to 1,000 now. I don't know, I didn't feel so emotionally attached to it because it happened so long ago, and it was quite a silent disaster. I mean, people had to leave, but they weren't like rushing away for their lives or anything.
Oh, no, but it only affected their children's lives and their children's children's lives and their children's 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 lives.
It's true.
So, yes, it had some lasting repercussions, though it may have been silent.
It's true, but all the buildings are just so like decaying and stuff now, and photographers have been there so much that they've like moved objects around, and it's just become a bit different.
That brings up a question. I've seen a bunch of your photos from these places. Do you move objects around to get it to get the photo you want?
I do. Like, I'm not a documentary photographer, so I'm not there to like build massive stories about the places. I'm a fine art photographer, so I'll be like after just kind of 1 or 2 epic shots from each place. So I'll like make sure it looks perfect in the actual picture before I take it. I don't like to do a lot of kind of post work on my photos, so I'll make sure I like move things to look good.
Yeah, I don't like that personally.
I know.
That's
some people don't.
No, I like, look, if you're going to go in personal opinion, each their own. What do you guys think? Move stuff, don't move stuff in your photos. Obviously, there's no right or wrong. It's personal choice, as she just explained. But for me, if I'm going to go into a situation, there's very few times where I'm like, oh, this would look better over here. I may take out a water bottle in the corner, but if I'm going to an abandoned building, I want to, like when I showed you those factory photos the other day, and I didn't move those chairs that were in the factory photos. I moved myself around to get that. So that's just my personal thing.
I'll go into a building, say it's just like an abandoned house, and for example, like 2 weeks ago, I was in Rhode Island and we went to an abandoned house. It was just completely trashed. Like all the things that were in that house were just all over the place.
Yeah.
And there were like good objects in the house to photograph, but they were just everywhere.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of set things up for it to look good. Otherwise, that photo is just nothing.
Now, do you break into places?
No, I don't break into places.
What do you think of the people that do break into these places?
Oh, obviously they've enabled me to do this because they've opened up the buildings, but I really despise people that go in and kind of trash them, like graffiti. It's not nice.
So you went to a church in Philly and you ran into a couple of young people?
I did.
Do you want to talk about them real quick?
We was just sitting in the car outside. My friend Shannon went to check out the church and we saw these two guys just walking past, and I was like, oh, they look like urban explorers because they had kind of like the tripod in their backpacks.
Yeah.
And then they disappeared into the church. About 5 minutes later, me and my friend just went in there and we go up to them. I start talking to them and they're like, oh, hey, you're Rebecca Bathory. And I'm like, yeah. It's kind of a really small world because they're like in Philadelphia. I'm from the UK. But they actually knew me because of you, Jared. So these guys,
so famous.
Chaz and Ian, they said about 2 years ago when you mentioned me, when we met in Israel, they saw my work and started following me, and that's how they got into urban exploration.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you? How does that make you feel when you run into somebody that knows you and you've affected their life in one way or another?
It's nice to know that I've inspired people.
But you're so dark. Do you want to inspire people to darkness or to happiness?
My life's full of happiness. It's a good life, but I just have kind of darkness inside me. I like to share this with people because people are attracted to darkness. Like people watch horror films and all that kind of stuff.
I don't like scary movies.
You have a baby.
I just don't like scary movies.
Well, yeah, I like showing people this stuff that they don't necessarily normally see.
So talk about, you've been traveling, you said, for almost the full year around the world.
Yeah.
How do you fund this as a photographer? How are you funding your travels?
Lots of different ways. For example, to cut costs, I gave up my flat at the beginning of the year, so I have no costs whatsoever.
For those of you who don't know what a flat is, that would be an apartment.
Yeah. I shoot for Stock Library, so I get a monthly income from that.
Is it good, though, the stock stuff, or are they actually selling?
I work, they pay me monthly.
Oh, they give you a monthly stipend, but you don't get paid per usage for that one?
No. It was just for this year. They knew that I was traveling around the world. So they're like, if you can shoot stock in each country that you go to, then we'll give you like a monthly payment for it.
All right. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah. So that's some of the income. I sell my book, obviously. Sell prints. I have an agent in New York who sells prints for me. And I'm also writing a PhD, which I got scholarship for.
Player's hating degree. What is your PhD? How do you write a PhD?
By being an expert in a field and writing a lot of words.
And then they give you something?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how that worked. So that's one way to travel. And because I think some of the questions people may ask would be like, well, if you're getting a monthly stipend, are you actually losing out on money that you would get if they sold it this way? But then if you look at it, you do what you need to do to get to where you want to go to get the photos that you really need. So you're basically going places, taking photos, letting them have them for stock images, but still collecting a paycheck that allows you to go and get the photos for your books.
Yeah.
So that's a way that you have to think about it when you're or when you're looking to do a job. So how about gear? How do you go about getting the gear that you need to use? I'm
pretty much sponsored for everything that I use, so I don't have to pay for cameras and equipment. So what's the camera that you're using now? I'm using a Mamiya Leaf Credo 80.
Jesus Christ. Do you work out? Because
I have actual muscles from carrying this camera on my tripod around these abandoned buildings.
This is not a light camera.
It's not. So it's a 645 Mamiya with a leaf back on it. This is the Credo 80 that goes for about $25,000. Mm-hmm. So it's a 20. Oh, geez. Thanks. I forgot.
scared the shit out of me because I forgot that was going to happen. Thank you, Todd. Yes, really expensive camera. Thanks for sharing that with us. So this is your Credo 50. So it's Credo 80. What do they make you do to give you this?
Well, 2 years ago, I told them that I was making this book on dark tourism, and I just asked if I could use it for the duration of the book project. I do behind the scenes photos. I give them high resolution photos to use in their stands and stuff. And I'll also put that I use that camera in
the metadata or the tags.
Yeah, my comments.
I mean, that's one way to do it. You get an $80,000 camera, an 80 megapixel camera. The setup's about $30,000 that you're going into slums in Mexico, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody ever try to steal this thing from you?
Nobody's tried. I have it insured.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a tool and it's insured. And if I'm not using it for what I want to shoot, then there's no point in having it, is there? No, absolutely. That's that old thing where people are like, well, what travel camera should I get? Why should you take a travel camera when you could take your camera? Just because you're worried about it getting stolen? So shit's going to happen. I mean, shit's absolutely going to happen. I have when I travel, I'll kind of cover up the logos and stuff.
Because somebody who doesn't know anything.
In a slum, I'll cover up logos and stuff. But
damn, this thing is massive and heavy.
It's good to keep fit.
It does. It is quite fit.
And it's pretty worth it, so I don't mind carrying it.
So how many brand deals do you have right now? How many do you have, and do you just reach out to them and say, hey, I'm Rebecca, and then figure out what to do?
No, I don't do that. I don't actually reach out to people. It's all come from networking, making contacts.
The Israel trip got you in touch with Leaf, right?
Yep, they did. They let us borrow this camera for a day, shooting in the markets, and that's how that came about.
I wasn't on that shoot.
No.
I was at an interview.
You could have had one too.
That's all right. I'm sure if I wanted one, I could figure out how to make it happen. No, I was on that interview with Adam. We went and we interviewed Ziv Karen.
Yeah.
He was awesome. So relationships. Talk about how important relationships are.
For example, when we saw each other in Photokina.
Yes, in Germany.
On the last day, I was carrying this camera around because I wasn't going to put it into the cloakroom, and we'd left our apartment.
Yeah.
And it was just getting really heavy. So I went up to the stand of Black Rapid and just got them to show me their straps. And then I mentioned the tripod, because this has got a different tripod plate. And I said that I use three-legged thing.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we know Danny. And I was like, yeah, I know Danny. And we just started talking, and I showed them my photos on my iPad. And they're like, oh, you're Rebecca Bathory. And they knew my work.
But they didn't know you?
They hadn't met me before. I'd never been in contact with them before. And then they just said that they could sort me out straps and stuff if I kind of became an ambassador for them.
And so they gave you a $70 strap.
Yeah, but that's how I build these relationships. I mean, I have tripods, I have bags, and now I have straps. And I mean,
it doesn't hurt. There's nothing wrong with doing it. It's trade. They get something for it. You get something for it. So if anybody has an issue, there really shouldn't be an issue, because it's all about, it is literally you're using them and they are using you. There's no other way to slice it, to be nice, not being not nice about it, but that's what you do. You have found a way to go ahead and travel the world while still making money and getting the pictures you want to get to release the books that you're going to release, and you're doing it off the backs of these companies who are supporting that. Mm-hmm. And the best way to do that is you make connections, and you have work, and you have the ability to go and do it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just need to keep always doing new projects that nobody's done before, and that's how I keep this interest.
I don't think there is any such thing as a new project that's never been done before. Just things that are being done differently. Mm. That's my thing. Is you're not the first. You're not the first until you're the first. You walk on Mars. In this known history university thing, maybe you'll be the first person to walk on Mars, but in this day, you're not going to be the first person to do a project that is somebody's already done something similar.
People are always doing stuff, but then they don't actually focus on making such a big project out of it. So that's what I'm kind of doing.
Which is good.
Even with the Soviet Union and stuff, it's people obviously went and photographed those buildings, but they didn't actually make a series on it.
Yeah.
So I collected these photos together and made a book, and that's why people hadn't seen that stuff before.
Tell me about the books you have coming out.
I have a book coming out in March, which is my Fukushima book. And the year after, I have my dark tourism book, which I've been working on this year.
Nice. And so how did you go about getting somebody to publish your books?
And the first book, Soviet Ghosts, was quite hard to get a publisher because quite a few books on urban exploration exist already. And he'd actually published a couple. And he was just like, no, I'm not interested in publishing another urban exploration book. You need to like come back with an innovative idea. So I had to think about it, and nobody had published this book on abandoned buildings in the Soviet Union. So I go back and have a few more meetings with him, and finally he like goes with the idea. And my second book, the dark tourism one, was kind of a little bit easier because he really liked the idea, and no one's made a book on that yet. And Fukushima was really last minute. I needed to like raise the funds in order to go. So I thought, if I make a book, then I'll be able to get an advance for it. So about 3 weeks before I left, I went to him and asked him if he wanted to publish a book, and he was totally up for it.
Nice. So what's the future hold for you going forward?
I have a lot of ideas constantly in my head for projects, but there's one in particular because I went to India and I visited the Mumbai slums. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping to kind of travel around the world again, but photographing slums. But it's going to be more like an awareness project because I want to raise awareness and show them more like in a positive light, not like a bad way.
Right. Nice. Now, at any point, do you feel scared for your life in any of these places?
I'm pretty fearless. I've actually never really felt fear. Even when I was captured by the military or when I'm like climbing on things, it's like I don't really feel fear.
Nice. So where can people find out more about you?
My website's www.RebeccaBathory.com, and there's links to my social media on there.
Because I can't spell that, so it's up on the screen.
RebeccaBathory.
Bathory.
Bathory. Batshit crazy.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it at batshit crazy. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Jared. And thanks for wearing black.
You're welcome. So there you have it. What'd you think?
I love that you both are wearing black.
You going to the prom together?
Two goth kids
You
just
going to the
hanging
prom
out.
together?
Yay! Rebecca Bathory and I are going to prom.
I thought she was super interesting.
I didn't know she did so much. She travels so much.
She
It's
does.
crazy. Yeah.
She
and
does.
That she has so many photo books
Yeah,
out.
she's really accomplished.
Yeah.
Is she hiring?
She's a one-man team. I'd like to see
One-woman team.
I would like to see more social posts from her.
Yeah, I don't follow her on social media.
She doesn't post that much, and with all the things she's doing, it would be good lead up to this is unsolicited advice, of course, to seed out certain images. She says that she has all of the images and she hasn't touched them yet from the last year.
Wow.
Traveling. So, I mean, I personally would be editing a picture and showing it on Instagram and doing all this stuff to build up the following
momentum,
even more.
Yeah.
And so that when you release the book, bam, you strike hot.
That military story.
The
where
Russian
they thought she
one?
was a spy?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I wonder what that animation would look like.
Oh, God.
Just kidding. It's funny. So that's the interview. Go follow her on all of her different social channels and let us know in the comments what you thought of the interview. And as always, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe on YouTube because we appreciate the fact that you do that. Now it's time for Gear of the Week that was sent to us by a company called Kino Flo.
Whoa.
We talk about Kino
Where'd this
Flo.
light come from?
That's a Kino Flo. That's a Kino Flo. That's a
get a
Kino
Kino
Flo.
Flo.
That's a
You
Kino
get a
Flo.
You know what? Todd doesn't have a Kino
I do
Flo.
not have
Oh,
one.
Todd's got a F&V LED.
Here's what I have.
Yep.
So Kino Flo, Jeff contacted them, my ad rep and guy who helps us get gear and get in touch with
Guy
companies.
with the hot daughter.
And can we pop up that
And
picture?
he watches every week,
Dude,
too.
legit, yo, pop up the picture, Dan. Pop up the picture of her wearing. She borrowed. Speaking of hockey jerseys,
You're welcome, Jeff.
she borrowed. Should we blur out her face though?
Nope.
Oh, was it the Rangers jersey or something?
No, it's an Islanders jersey.
Islanders, that's
so
it.
she borrowed it. So I ordered her own Islanders jersey so she could have it, and she wants to wear it at school.
Because you sent me that picture. I'm like, who the hell is this?
I thought it was maybe his wife.
I
'cause
thought
she-
you had a-
I
you had a
didn't know
girl
who it was
over.
either. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I was
didn't
like,
know who it
no,
was.
it's not. She wasn't. I mean, what's your number? Hey, Jeff, what's your
Hey,
daughter's
Jeff.
number? I got her Snapchat.
You've been threading that needle for a while, haven't you, Jared?
Yeah. But while we're at it, what's your wife's number? Jeff,
Easy.
Sorry, that's for
Always
Todd.
taking it too far.
Always,
It's for
always
Todd.
taking it too far.
It's for
Oh,
Todd.
No, it wasn't for me.
Todd wants the number.
Jeff, it wasn't for me.
Todd
Nope.
said secretly, Todd,
Jeff, if you want to work with somebody else now, I'm available.
Kino Flo. Yeah. So back to Kino Flo lighting. Jeff, that's how we got there.
Yeah.
Been reaching out. He's reached out to them, asked if we could get. We want to buy some stuff for the new Fro Factory.
We just need a shit ton more lights, basically.
So right now we've got demo units that we have until I believe February to use. They gave us demo units to use that end up going back. So we're going to use them, but one of them included this LED 30 is what the bag says. It's their LED version of our 4-banger that has 4 fluorescent tubes. This is all LEDs, and it gets super bright, and you can change the color temperature from 2,700 degrees Kelvin to 6,500
What was
degrees
that, Dan?
Kelvin.
What was that, Dan?
And these, you have to switch out the actual tubes if you want to go from tungsten to
Right.
daylight.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you take out the LEDs and break them on the floor, or you're not allowed to do that anymore?
No, probably not breaking
Because
them
it's
on the
way
That
more
was
fun
fun.
to drop a bulb on set and
it's the
have to
best.
pay for it. Yeah.
But these bulbs are pretty good because they're wrapped in bulb protectors. Yeah. They're plastic. Oh, all right. Well,
They'll
anyway,
break.
so this has a ballast on the back itself. This is about $2,500 for one, opposed to about $1,200 for a basic one that with the ballast that you have to plug in. Oh, those are not dimmable. This is. Let me show you how it works. You
Yeah,
ready?
Please.
Yeah, and this is an all-in-one solution, too, where that comes with a separate ballast and the light itself.
I'm turning it on.
Here it goes.
Oh, my
Oh, God.
So
I'm so glad we have a nice, even light.
That's
Very balanced.
So that's that's what you call it.
This is 50%. I click the button. Look at this. That's 0%. Nothing.
Surprisingly.
It's weird.
That's your 10%.
Yeah.
No, that's 5%, 10%.
I feel like I'm melting.
But here, I'm going to dial it back down to 50. Check this out. Check this out. The color temperatures, you can do this. Oh, I'm talking like I have a microphone. You can do this.
They can hear you.
Yeah.
2,700.
2,700.
Nice. So you can change the color temperature.
And you can do increments of like 10, right?
Yeah,
That's
40.
nice.
That's pretty amazing.
It's about increments of 30.
Increments
That's
of
nice.
30.
That's really nice.
This is
And it goes from 2,700 to 6,500.
Oh, look at that.
6,500.
That's really
Comparison,
blue.
Let me show you the difference. Let me go all the way down. It has to go faster.
Wow, it really
That's
you
what I
can
was
really
doing on
tweak
VR.
it.
That's what I was actually doing. I was changing color temperature.
Here's 65,
Oh, it's so freaking bright.
Wow.
and that's 27.
Ain't that something?
I absolutely
See stars.
The first time I turned this on,
Did you do it?
I
looking
audibly
at it?
No, I audibly went, "Oh my god!" I was like audibly gasped at how amazing it was.
I will say the first thing I noticed from picking it up was how much heavier it is than these Kino Flows, the 4-banger.
Really?
but the difference.
Way heavier because the ballast
ballast
on
thing.
the back of
Dan,
it
turn that
is
around real
attached to
fast.
the light itself.
Turn that around real so we can see the ballasty
So imagine
thing.
if the ballast was actually attached to that light. That's pretty much how heavy that one is.
Point to the ballasty thing, the select right
Yeah.
there. That's and you see it's digital. You can have preset. Don't matter. Is it gonna fall?
That's
You got
probably a
it?
good 10 pounds right there, just that.
It's heavy, but it's also you don't have one of those boxes down there
Yeah.
anymore. So all right, thanks, Dan.
And we'd be using the other Kino Flows right now. There's about, 4 more in the box?
No, there's two more. Well, there's two more.
There's 2 more, but we just don't have enough C
They
stands
sent us
right
two more
now.
of these.
Yeah.
The C stands we use are from a company called Matthews.
You got
Matthews.
them with these lights, right? When you bought them used?
Yeah, so that story was
You
good.
haggled them down, I think?
I
Of
did.
course he did.
I did haggle the guy. He
It
wanted.
was an old production company I used to work with, and they were selling stuff, and I was like, oh, I think Jared needs these.
You got them for a great price, and the quality of our videos went up.
So he
immediately.
wanted. He said something like $4,000, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I was thinking like $3,000. He's going out of business. He wants money, right? So he came back at like, he's like, would you do $3,250? And I was like, yeah, let me go get a check.
Yeah.
And so I got all of our Kino Flows that we have, all of these Matthews stands, which are awesome. We
them.
love Matthews
Yeah.
stands.
He was like, Todd, is this good? Is this check going to clear? I was like, I think it'll be all right.
Oh, he did ask you that?
Of course he did.
Oh.
Of course
That's
he did.
funny.
Yeah.
See, I don't think like that personally because
Well, he didn't know you from a can of paint, but he
True.
knew me. I
He knew you.
worked with him for a year and a half.
So I say this to Matthews stands people. Hi, Matthews stands people. We need some new Matthews stands to go along with our new Kino Flows that we are borrowing for a short term till they go back. So we're looking for C stands that can hold these Kino Flows. Maybe have wheels and
B
casters.
stands, C stands, D stands,
F stands.
Double D stands.
I like them.
We need those.
And
so
VR.
Matthews. Okay, what's next? Are we up to memes?
Yeah, I guess.
We're going to do memes first because we don't have Flying Solo.
Then we'll spin.
Then we'll spin the Wheel of Fro
Yes.
this
Yes.
week.
That's
All
it.
right, so let's grab our meme computers.
Let's do it.
So, guys, it's time for memes of the week.
Favorite part of the show.
If you have good stuff, you can send them to singwheeloffro@gmail.com because I don't think we have memes wheeloffro@gmail.com.
We don't.
I know, I'm just kidding.
We should own that.
No, we should just have singwheeloffro@gmail.com to send in your memes or send in funny pictures of things that you find that you think we would laugh at.
Totally
We're
random.
children.
Yeah.
For children, right. So, first one, Todd?
Well, this one's from Aaron Tremblay. He found a sign on the side of the road. It's Meredith Boulevard.
What's in front of Brake Masters?
Urgent care.
It's where you go when Meredith chops his fingers off with drones.
So I'm getting my brakes done, and I'm going to get a bypass while I'm there as well, son bitch.
Awesome. Next
one is from Todd Wolf. It's Meredithville, which I found on the way to Atlanta. I'm driving. I'm like, Genie, take a picture. Pull over now. It's Meredithville.
Did you slow down?
No,
a
that's
little
definitely-
bit. A little bit.
You're still
but
going
yeah.
decent, though. There's
And I
emotional
zoomed
there.
in because she takes horrible pictures.
It doesn't matter. That's funny.
Meredithville, yeah. So that's what I found. Next one's from
Wait, who gets to spin the wheel if we pick yours?
me.
Just kidding. Next.
Next one's from Brandon Blake. This is Photo News, the habit-forming, quick-acting sleep aid from the SE company.
Look at the
It'll
little
put you
logo.
right to sleep. Photo News.
There's Steven's crowns. What's it say?
Habit-forming, quick-acting sleep aid. Photo
and
News.
That's how I sleep. I'm a stomach sleeper.
I love that you said you weren't tired during that episode, that segment. You yawned like 50 times.
The next one is from Dan Smith. It's Small Arm Fro. The kangaroo says, I can't wait for Small Arm Fro. Quick, welcome to the Outback.
All right, next.
so weird looking.
Next one's from Evie Espinola. This is Fro Knows Parenting, or Todd Knows Parenting. The special interview edition, Parenting Monthly, issue
number 9.
Todd Wolf, the story of an internet sensation, and how he sold video guides in the black market to feed his daughter and pay for his VR porn subscription. Collectible Meredith poster inside. He nailed that.
That's I took that photo here before I had any furniture here.
That's great.
Next one's from Fabian Rodriguez. This is Meredith's office.
Look at the pictures.
Well, he's got lots of pictures on the behind him, and you should definitely use this picture.
That is funny.
That's
Some
awesome.
bitch.
That's great.
Next one is from my good buddy on PlayStation, Michael Graybeard Pete.
Oh, my God.
He actually said this to me on Facebook. I was like, definitely send this to the show. So it's an energy drink called Pussy. And he said to me in the email, definitely going to grab one of these now.
Only 1 pound?
Well, that's what they're usually good for, 1 pound, and I got to take a nap.
Crush that.
Hashtag 1
Hashtag
pound.
improv. Next one's from Remo Wakeford. It's Frobo. Part 3.
I don't know. These are all amazing this week.
The first was for himself. The second was for his country. This time it's for his friend, Polin.
In Frobo 3.
Oh, my God.
The last one is from Ben Gartherkolt's a video. He did his own take on the Stranger Things. He liked what we did, but he actually created a new one for us.
All right, here we go. Slower. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jared Polin.
Look at that.
Hey, if you're listening at home, go watch the video. I'm seeing an ice shoot.
Oh, shit.
Steven Ecker.
Oh, yeah.
That's out of focus. That's weird.
This is like Tron. This is awesome.
It's like Stranger Things. That's
I
weird.
mean, it's like Stranger Things, but real. Way better than what Dan did.
Todd Wolfie.
Wolfie.
I shoot raw. 11.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, it's
Impressive,
dripping.
Right? It's
That's
impressive.
really impressive.
Somebody get this guy on the phone.
That took
Hey,
some
watch.
time.
Watch.
Oh, yeah. And Dan. That was awesome.
Yeah, he did a good job. I mean,
That's impressive.
that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Can you email this guy?
Absolutely not.
And get a quote for us to, we need some motion graphics, don't we?
Sure.
For the app.
Oh.
We do.
Yeah, if that's what he does.
Well, we got to find out.
It's a different. Yeah, sure.
But we could use,
that took some time.
we could get some cool shit. I'd pay for that.
That was impressive. The file was massive. He had to send me like a separate link so I could download it.
You know, for 61 megabytes.
He probably gave you like the.
I mean, massive in terms of like what people usually send me.
Like my arms.
Oh yeah.
So they were so how we do? Why don't we pick people for free guides?
Man, this is
And
tough.
we'll pick somebody to spin the wheel.
All right.
All right, let's go through.
I really like Todd Wolf's Meredithville.
Nailed it. I'd like to get the editing guide, please.
Oh, the Fabian Rodriguez. He won before, I think. And
What did he do?
I think he did the other Meredith.
Well,
one,
yeah,
didn't
he did. He did.
Okay,
yeah,
it's same guy.
So we've got photo news.
Your buddy Michael Graybread.
Photo news.
Gray beard. Oh, I put gray bread.
Oh, you put Graybread.
Todd's parenting guy. So Fabian Rodriguez has already won. Frobo. And then
You wish your muscles looked like that.
I mean, photo news, the habit forming one. That photo news sleep thing is spot on.
do you want to give them the spin, or do you want to give them a free guide?
Let me see which one I think I like the best.
Well,
Definitely not the guy I play PlayStation with. Not Graybeard because he's a dick and he always sucks. So I'm not. He shouldn't get it.
I mean, the guy who did the thing at the end, the video clip, the Stranger Things. That's.
I mean, that probably. Let's give that. Okay,
That
let's
definitely
give
took the most effort for sure.
Brandon Blake. Let's give him a video guide.
Yep.
Let's do the spin of the wheel for the last one.
Yep.
Is there anybody else who deserves it? How about Eva
He's one as well.
Parenting Monthly.
Yeah.
So Parenting Monthly gets a free guide, and so does
Photo News.
And let's spin the wheel for this guy.
Yep.
For Ben.
For Ben. Garther Cole.
For Ben.
Gather Cole.
Gather Cole. Garther Cole.
All right, here we go. Whatever. Oh, wait, I don't spin the wheel. I have to say what's on the damn wheel.
Yeah.
I actually don't, but I will. Videoblocks.com/go/fro. We've got store.froknowsphoto.com to get your photo bag. What are you touching?
Just gonna slowly put that down.
To get a iShoot RAW camera bag, it's on sale until December 31st. You can get some special goodies. Rode microphones. We use Rode microphones each and every week. We will be going to the Rode 50th anniversary in Las Vegas. We will be putting out information on how you can
Party time.
I might die.
either how you can buy tickets or how you can be given free tickets. And it's going to be invite exclusive only because it's going to be in our
Hot
hotel room.
girls only.
KesslerCrane.com/fro. Code Fro10.
Fro10 and Fro15. Are they still doing that?
Maybe. Try it.
Try it. 15%
Spin
off.
again and win a printer. Adoramapics.com. I ordered a print from Adoramapics for the show.
Yeah.
That we're going to be doing. I ordered it 2 days ago. It's here today. I had to pay expedited for shipping.
Yeah.
It wasn't even paid. I paid expedited shipping and I paid for rush service. It said I could have it. It could ship the next day.
It's amazing. That's
impressive.
That's a big product too.
I ordered it one day. They printed it the next day and shipped it and got it here.
What size?
$195 for that print. It's a 24 by 36.
Oh wow.
And
That's
I
big.
used their code. They had a Black Friday code for 20% off.
Oh, nice.
So
I
I
didn't
used
even know.
I used that money.
Nice.
I used that money that I saved to pay for the expedited and speedy. So it cost me $212 or something with the shipping. The video guides, Think Tank Photo, audioblocks.com/go/fro, store.froknowsphoto.com to pick up your t-shirts if you want. I'm got an eye on Todd to see if we're gonna have to pick shit up. Rode microphones again. Lexar memory cards. We use Lexar for everything. We've got the my face, and we got Hoya. Squarespace.com/go/fro.
Skipping the guides.
And we have all of our guides. Go to froknowsphoto.com/guides. Every week. Let's spin the wheel. Hopefully it doesn't clog up the system again.
I'm definitely not clogged up anymore.
Who are we
Thanks
spinning
for
the
that.
wheel
I need
for?
one of those energy drinks.
Hey, Todd, would you like me to grab you another pussy off the shelf? You got another one in the...
Graybeard, grab me a pussy real
All right,
quick.
let's do this.
I'm spent.
You mean gray bread?
Gray bread.
First off, you could say grab me a pussy because it's literally called pussy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong. You're saying grab the pussy off the shelf
Grab me a 6-pack of pussies.
for 1 pound.
Well, that'd be 6 pounds. Probably 5 pounds.
You get a discount the more you buy.
We'll find out in Vegas.
I hope the new puppy downstairs doesn't mind the sound of that. Around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. but the shadow knows
Dan knows.
that somebody's going to win a prize. Ba, 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 ba. Congratulations goes to... What's the guy's name?
Benjamin. Ben Gathercole.
Congratulations, Ben Bathory. Thank you for doing all that work. Maybe we will hire you. We need to find out more about what you do because
But if we can haggle with you.
we definitely will haggle with you. Be like, do you know who I am? Actually,
Terry
Todd will do
Hanukkah.
that. Todd will
Terry
be like,
Hanukkah.
Todd will be like, do you know who you're working with?
Can I trade you with video guides?
Digital download only.
Congratulations,
Digital
you
download
won
only.
yourself a video guide. Dan, let's get to the Hashi McTags, if you have any this week. And hopefully I can... Did you practice your penmanship?
I love his little notepad.
Hashtag Hanukkah Harry. Hashtag Hello Matthews Studio Equipment. Hashtag 1 pound. Tweet at them at Matthews Grip. At Matthews Grip on the Twitter.
Yeah, do that. And what was it? Hello, Matthews? What was the hashtag?
At Matthews Grip. Hashtag Hello Matthews Studio Equipment. Just Hello Matthews.
Yeah, there you go.
Just say Hello Matthews. The Fro wants you to send him some stuff.
Dan doesn't know how to use social media.
Dan doesn't even know how to use
No.
a hashtag.
Exactly.
That's going to be the show. It's episode 207, right?
207.
All the photo news and more is over at FroKnowsPhoto.com/2.
07.
FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-207
That's it.
is the episode. We appreciate you downloading and listening to the audio. We appreciate you watching on YouTube. We appreciate you downloading the podcast version as a video. And this just in, Netflix is going to allow you to do offline viewing of original programming. So that means you could take it on the plane with you and take it in the car with you and watch original programming on the go.
And stay tuned for Jared doing VR.
And stay tuned for Jared maybe doing VR. But before that, we're going to lunch. So thank you to Rebecca for being on the show. And by lunch, I mean it's 3:46. It's late. I usually I'm going to get hangry. No, I've already scheduled my dinner for 8 o'clock.
Dinner.
Snickers.
And so that's it. We're out. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. So Todd thought it would be a good idea for me to try out his PlayStation VR. I've never used a video game VR. He's gonna mess my hair up is the question. Shit. My goggles are, my hair's in the goggles.
How are girls ever gonna do this?
Oh, Jesus. Ah! Okay. Whoa, fishy! Fuck you! You're gonna blow up, dick. Uh-oh.